Oh, here we go. Waiting for the click. Waiting for the click. It's not started yet. There's the click. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. My name is Donovan Sadiq. I am the Inland Empire Informer, also known nationally as the Recovering Democrat. I'm not going to take up too much of your time today because Demetra and I have a podcast to get to in about 25 minutes. But I'm sure you guys are probably looking at me saying, damn, he's getting really gray. I am peppered all over. So, yeah. Not bad for 55, though. I consider myself pretty good for 55. But that's kind of why I keep myself shaved a lot. Because I don't look as youthful as I need to look. But let's get right into it real quick. I know it's got a lot of stuff on my mind. Don't mind my eyes, you guys. My eyes are, it's a medical thing. It'll clear up as I go. But let's get into it. You guys are probably wondering, number one, what is this subject that I'm talking about? Of course, I got my green screen for later on. You guys are probably wondering, what is it that I am talking about today? Let's see something here. I gotta pull it this way. Yeah, I'll do that later. Okay, if you guys look at the subject here, and I can't see it myself, but it is called 3i Atlas. How many of you guys have heard of 3i Atlas? Because it's amazing to me how many people are not paying attention to what is going on. And I'm not surprised. We don't know what our politicians are doing in our name. We don't know our city council members. We don't know anything until it actually happens, and then it's either too late or there's nothing we can do about it. The shovels are already in the ground, whatever the situation is. Because we are too busy living our lives, not paying attention to a space that we occupy on this earth, when we should be thinking about the difference that we make. Because what we do matters. It matters to us, and it matters to other people. How do I say that? I'm gonna say it this way. Aren't you concerned if somebody walks into a store with a weapon? Why aren't you concerned about that? Because bad things could happen if that person, depending on what state you're in, if that person decides to use that weapon. And we see that going all the way across the United States. So what we do matters, and what people around us do matters, if you want to believe that or not. So you guys are probably looking at me and saying, it is not Halloween yet. Why does this man have a Star Trek original series Spock uniform on? Remember, if you guys have been watching my lives and stuff, I always tell you guys, I am more Spock than I am Kirk. I've already got the pointed ears. I don't even have to put the prosthetic on. I've already got them. I am more Spock than I am Kirk because I use my logic. Logic first. Logic above everything else. 1 + 1 = 2. Not core math. 1 + 1 could be 3. It's close enough. No, we're not doing that. It's all about logic. And of course, I've got my Space Force cap on. So my point is, what happens around us matters. It affects us. It affects our neighbors. Right? A lot of you guys think that I've gone completely insane. But yet you are seeing a lot of what I've been saying actually happened. The Democratic Party is hemorrhaging voters, supporters. So right now, and I'm going to use logic real quick because I don't want to get into politics right now. Somebody told me, see, Donovan, we told you he's going to use federal troops. You know, LA was a test bed, whatever the deal is. Again, a person that doesn't use logic and they don't know what they're talking about. Donald Trump and any president could use any amount of troops he wants to protect federal property. The mere presence of the National Guard in Chicago could, just possibly, I don't know if it's going to work, it could deter crime. The least it's going to do is protect federal buildings, because, you know, they attacked federal buildings here in Los Angeles. That's a fact, which is why the troops were called in. But the media tells you something different. You know, Malcolm X said it. They turn the victim into the criminal and the criminal into the victim. Right? So if these illegal protesters attack a federal building and Donald Trump sends, or any president sends in the troops to protect that federal property, then they start arresting and being aggressive with those people to defend that federal property. Now who's the victim and who's the perpetrator? You see how it gets switched really quick? And the media does that. Operation Mockingbird, which is what I've been telling you guys about. But let me get back to what I was saying. So you guys seeing me in this original Star Trek thing. You guys know that I'm a Trekkie. I've been a Trekkie for a very, very long time. It surprises me at how many people are not paying attention to what NASA and a lot of other space agencies on the planet Earth have been saying a ship. What could be, it's not factual, what could be a spaceship heading toward the Earth. Nobody's paying attention to that. Now, a lot of you people, especially you liberals, you think that, even if you've heard of this, you think the alien's going to come here and be all friendly and ET-ish, you know, and we're just going to be, you know, kumbaya and all that other stuff. You know, District 9, you know, just, you know, hanging out. But are you so sure? What makes you so sure? They could be. They could be. But are you willing to take that chance? Unlike a lot of you guys, Donovan, who supports the Constitution, who supports the Second Amendment, I don't know if bullets are going to work against them. I don't know. But like a prophylactic, like having a condom, I'd rather have it and not use it than need it and don't have it. You see what I'm saying? I don't know if the bullets are going to work. I don't know. But if push comes to shove, we got the U.S. Marines that can, you know, handle some business like that. So hopefully we could throw them at them and, you know, the real supermen to go out here and do what we need to do. But it's shocking to me at how many people have not heard of this thing that is heading toward the Earth. And it will be in Earth's, I think they said it would be within 60 million miles of Earth by early December. It'll be within our trajectory or something by November. But nobody's paying attention to all of that. So here's my hypothesis. Just like in Star Trek, where the Thessalonians, you know, remember in the episode, the two-part episode, The Cage, with Christopher Pike, those aliens that could manipulate your mind and make you see what's really not there, and they could create any illusion you want. Do you guys realize that is the only planet in the Federation where you could get the death penalty if you go there? You will receive the death penalty. It's the only thing where you will get the death penalty. because their power of illusion is so strong that they could make you blow up your ship, anything that comes to mind. If you go to that planet, it is a death sentence, according to the Federation. So thus, according to Starfleet regulation, that planet is to be avoided. You are not to go there. You are not to even, be within its range. They don't even want you in the galaxy of it, because I think the projection illusion has a range. They found out what the range was to where you could do that. But remember how Christopher Pike was all jacked up, and they went back and they let him go back, but he got restored to his regular size so he could live that illusion, right? So I believe when these aliens get here, they are going to see how horrible white people are on this planet and what they've done here, especially not only to the planet but to their fellow man, that they're going to say it's a death penalty to come to Earth. Do not go there. Mr. Robard, Mr. Johnson's property, don't you get on Mr. Johnson's property. Richard Pryor did a comedy routine on it. If aliens came back to Earth, go check it out. But yeah, it's amazing how many people hadn't heard of that. There is a object that is on a deliberate course headed toward the Earth. Now, I'm not Chicken Little, and I'm not telling, the sky is falling, but as everything else I've told you guys, I would rather say it and get it on the record so that you are aware. And then if anything happens to you, that's on you. But if what the space agencies are saying is true, because you would have to have a lot of hubris to believe we are the only thing in the galaxy. You would have a lot of hubris to believe that. They've already proven there's organisms on Mars, right? Frozen organisms. This item has come on its way. And we know in Project Blue Book, the government of the United States has already admitted we have been visited by extraterrestrials. So what does that mean? Well, one thing it means is black people, you won't be getting your reparations because, the aliens are here. We've got to come together like Independence Day and smite our enemies. So black people, we can't give you reparations right now. Do you guys see what's happening? Every time black people is to be served, something comes up. We have the worst luck in the world. So when they get here, I will give the usual Vulcan greeting, live long and prosper. Well, I'm going to give you guys the farewell, live long and prosper, if you guys aren't here to make it. And another great episode, and I want you guys to think about this. These writers of the original Twilight Zone, remember, these guys were born in the 1920s, right? A lot of them fought in World War II. And they were writing episodes of space. And we didn't even have a NASA yet. We didn't really know what was, out. We still don't really know what's out there. But we weren't as advanced as we are today versus then, right? Because, we didn't have our rocketry because we didn't get we just captured the Nazis, Werner von Braun and those guys that were doing the rocketry and stuff, right? These guys were writing stories of space travel. And one of the most famous ones is To Serve Man. Remember, it's a cookbook. But there were so many written episodes of space. There was one with Roddy McDowall, and I think it was called People Are the Same Everywhere. I think that was the name of the episode. People Are the Same Everywhere. Where these astronauts crash land on this planet. Well, I think it was Mars, on the far side of Mars. And they found there was like these humanoids there that looked just like them. And Roddy McDowall was like, oh, I want to learn about your planet. I want to learn what's going on. Come to find out, they built them this house and stuff. And they said, yeah, we're going to put you in this house. You know, it's going to be just like Earth. You know, you're going to, you know, until we, you know, figure out what's going on, whatever. So they build them this house and stuff. Come to find out, they put him in a zoo. For all the Martians to look at him, you know, like if he was an exhibit, an American, you know, an earthly exhibit. Excellent episode. Excellent episode. There was another episode where the sun was getting too close to the earth and the earth was heating up. Classic stuff, you guys. Classic stuff. And, you know, I sit back and I just wonder, how did these guys come up with these great stories? And then here we are in the modern world, and Hollywood just keeps remaking stuff, and it's terrible. Never as good as the original. There's only a few movies I would say surpass the original. Godfather 2 is one. Some people are in debate, but to me there's no question. The best Star Wars out of all of them, Empire Strikes Back. I mean, the original was great, but when Empire Strikes Back came out, everybody loved the Empire Strikes Back, right? So I would say Empire Strikes Back. Alien, classic, but everybody loved Aliens, the second one, right? I mean, you could just go on and on and on with like great movies that actually surpass the first one. So this is why I'm in my Star Trek garb, got my Space Force hat on, because I am researching and reading what the latest development is on this object. And I did find out last night that NASA identified a probe a few years ago, and really it didn't get a lot of highlight about it, and they believe it was a probe, that something is studying the Earth, and this probe was about the size of a football stadium or a football field or something like that. Wasn't super big, but this thing that's coming toward Earth, this thing is about the size of Manhattan. It's not going to hit Earth, according to the trajectory. It's not going to hit Earth. And you guys are probably saying, well, why, Donna, why do you even care about this stuff? I got a degree in aeronautics. Embry-Riddle. I'm anything that has to do with flying. It's fascinating to me. Very fascinating. So, you guys, look it up. Just, you know, Google it. If you guys are interested, look it up. But I'm going to strongly say this. Right or wrong, believe it or not, you might want to assert your Second Amendment rights just in case to defend your family. Because if they have laser weapons, we only got bullets. You know, what if I'm right? What if the scientists are right? This is a mothership like Independence Day, and they're just going to come and, you know, just eradicate everything. Of course, we got the Marine Corps. I'm not worried. We got the Marine Corps. But even the Marine Corps has its limits. You know what I mean? There's only so many bullets and planes and men and women that they have. So, you know, it's just amazing to me that people have not heard about this. And it's alarming to me, and it really wakens me up to understand that people really don't give a shit unless it affects them. They really don't give a shit. And switching gears, happy birthday to my cousin Mai Lang. She is the fourth grandchild on my father's side. She's fourth in the line of the original four. The original Fantastic Four of our family, of the grandkids of that side. So her birthday's today, and everybody's whose birthday's today. But I've been telling people, some people have been messaging me and they're saying, Donovan, now I understand what you're saying. Donovan, now I get what you're saying. I'm fighting for the future. I'm not fighting for you. I'm not fighting for you people that are 50, that should know better. I'm fighting for the future. The future. These grandchildren that we are starting to have, or some of us already had them, they don't have a chance if we don't make changes today. So thank you guys that are, I don't know why you guys won't. I mean, I appreciate the apologies in private, but it sure would be nice if you guys would say, you know what, I think Donovan was right. Hey, yeah, this is fucked up. Trump is horrible, but there are certain things that he is doing that make sense. I'm sorry, LGBTQ, nobody gives a damn. Nobody gives a damn about women wanting to delete their children. Nobody cares about that. In a democracy, it's a majority rule, not minority. So, again, let me leave you guys with this. And if you're a Trekkie, you would know where this came from. For every man, what did he say? What did Kirk say? All it takes is, and I'm paraphrasing, all it takes is one man, one person with an idea. All it takes is one with the courage to change a nation, to change a world. All it takes is one. All right, you guys, don't forget to join me, Dimitra, later on today. We're doing a live show on her platform there. We're doing a podcast in a few minutes. Don't forget to download the African Diaspora News Channel app. You can get it on Google Play, Apple Store. Great videos from Brother Phil Scott, Dimitra K, Vicky Dillard, Wongel, and a whole bunch of plethora of people, contributors to the African Diaspora News Channel. I don't really care for or donations and stuff, but if you guys want to give donations, that's great. They're greatly appreciated, but there's also a whole bunch of content creators out there that really would love your support. Please support them. Again, we've got to start paying attention to what is going on. What's going on in our world? What we do matters. What other people does matters. People are being laid off. Have you guys realized this real quick? The reason why they're cutting off Section 8 and firing all these women and all this other stuff, this is my hypothesis on this, is because AI. It's a whole new reset of how to do things. They don't need women anymore to assert men. You can get AI that's not going to complain. They don't want benefits. They got these robots. All of this stuff. They don't need women anymore, and this is why women are being laid off in all of these job reports in mass scale. They don't need them anymore. Their job is done. Congratulations. Don't forget to join us, you guys. Remember, live long and prosper. Donovan Sadiq.